Yeah. So first let me just wake up the ServiceNow instance, the other ServiceNow instance. Okay. So guys, when it comes to the SOAP, right, I'll be explaining outbound integrations and inbound integrations. See, for outbound integrations, we are using SOAP message. For inbound integrations, we are using table WSDL. Okay. So we can use import set WSDL as well. We can also use scripted SOAP services WSDL as well. So here, right, we are going to explain about outbound integrations and inbound integrations. So when it comes to the SOAP, so you just give a try with the bidirectional integration with SOAP web services, guys. Okay. So here, why am I asking you guys to do that is that SOAP are rarely used. SOAP web services are rarely used. Okay. SOAP web services are rarely used. Most of the organizations, 98% of the organizations use REST. Very few organizations use SOAP. Okay. So still, however, you are actually getting knowledge, right, regarding SOAP as well. SOAP uses WSDL in place of endpoint. So once I am done with the outbound and inbound integrations with SOAP web services, right? What I will do is I will actually explain about mid servers, attachments. I will actually explain about authentication, OAuth 2.0. So once we have covered this mid server and attachments and OAuth 2.0, we'll be done with integrations. Okay. Okay. So here, as soon as I create a record in my instance, it is actually creating a record in the this particular instance. Okay. So that is what we have done here. So let me just go to the incident table. So it has created a record in the external system. How is it creating a record in the external system? Here we are triggering the business rule. As soon as a record is created in the incident table, it will trigger the business rule. Through the business rule, we are triggering the SOAP message. We are triggering the SOAP message. So here, let me just duplicate this tab. Okay. Right click, business rules. Okay. So here we have triggered the SOAP message. Inside the SOAP message, we have triggered the insert function. So inside that we are actually passing contact type using current object, caller ID using current object, and short description using current object. So we are actually passing these values to the REST message, and we are triggering the REST message. So whatever the response that we are receiving, that response we are actually parsing it using XML document v2. So here we are actually using parse XML. So we are actually parsing the XML. From the parsed XML, you are actually using no text. So number no text, SysID no text. So it will actually give you the number. It will actually give you the SysID of the record that is created in the external system. So which is fine. We are actually done with creation part. Okay, now we will actually discuss about update part. So now you will go to the SOAP message. So this is the one, right? Here I have used WSDL. This is the WSDL. So using this WSDL, we have actually generated the SOAP messages. Okay. So now this time we will use update function to update the record. Okay. So here authentication type, we will use basic authentication, and we will use that this one. Okay. I'm just saving this one and test. We will quickly test whether this is able to reach the external system or not. So 500. So what is it? What is it telling? Web services are called without SysID. So for updating the record in the external system, SysID is mandatory one, right? So what is it telling? What is the error that is telling? Web services update called without SysID ignored. So this is actually server side error, 500 server side error. So what we will do? We will remove all these fields. So short description will keep. Okay, SysID we will keep. So we don't need these three things. So SysID, let us keep SysID. Okay, SysID is mandatory one. Task number, time worked, all these things I don't need anymore. Okay, short description only I'm using here. So now what I'm doing here, I'm generating the variables, SOAP variables. Okay, okay. Take this particular record SysID. I'm just clicking on test here. So this time it has given 200. So this record is updated. So we will test this record and whether this record is updated in the external system or not. Okay, updated, right? So we were able to see test 2 in the short description. See test 2. Short description we updated. Description we updated also. We have updated description as well, right? So description, we did not pass any value in the description. Everything looks good, right? Okay, so here we have to use update dot description. Okay. So now we'll give a quick test here. See, this time it has passed the value as well. So now here you can check description is also updated here. So now what I will do, I'll go here, I'll take the REST message. So here you can just click on preview script usage. Preview script usage. Okay. Just copy the script out. Go to the business rule. Update. Okay. So this time I will only use update. So here what condition I'll keep? I'll keep condition correlation ID is not empty. So this correlation ID field is actually which correlation ID? There are two correlation IDs. So this is the one which is right. So we'll replace this one. This one. Let me just take out this one. Okay. Fine. So now what I do here, I'll try to what I do in this business rule. Here these are hard coded sysids, right? Hard coded sysids, right? So what I will do here, I will use current object, current dot short description. So description, right? Yeah, we have to pass description here. So here we have to pass correlation ID. Current dot u underscore correlation ID. Here you have to pass short description. Current dot u underscore short description. Okay. So now let us try to update this particular record. 67. So this particular record should be updated there in the external system. Updated here or not? Okay. So now let me just update this record here. So is it getting updated here or not? So that is how updates will happen. How to delete the record? How to delete the record? So then what you will do, you will go to the SOAP message. Here you have delete record function available. Okay. So for delete record, you need only the record sysid you want. Which record sysid you want to delete the record? That one you have to use. So here what I will do, I'll generate the script here. preview script usage. I don't have to do anything here. Just to take the script out here, go here to the business tool, delete. So here you have to use before only. For deletion, you have to use before, because after delete, current object is not available. Before delete. Okay. So what is this? Delete record. Yeah, we have to send which record to be deleted. We haven't generated the preview. We haven't generated the auto generate variables, right? So now we will preview the script usage. This time we have got the variable. Okay, here you have to pass correlation ID. Current dot u underscore yesterday. Here we have one guy who has asked how to update the record, how to delete the record. But that guy has listened using REST message how to delete the record, how to update the record. But still that guy is asking the questions. What do we have to feel? Whether that guy is understanding properly, or whether he is not practicing. You should try it on your own, right? You are not a beginner now. You have learned so many things. You have already listened to the sessions over a period of time. You have gone through the multiple sessions, multiple videos. But still, why are you not trying on your own? Why are you expecting others to explain that? Hmm? So now, right, I am trying to delete this record. As soon as I delete this record, so here this record should be deleted. So the record is deleted here. Here also the record should be deleted. Okay. So record should not exist. Record still exists. In the business rule, we did change the condition, right? Before delete, we have kept, right? Correlation ID. Okay. Even now also, you have to go to deleted records to get the deleted record back. Okay. I think this is the one. So as soon as we delete this record, 10079, right? 10078. This one 79. We'll just take this number. We will delete this particular record here. As soon as we delete this one, the SOAP message will be triggered and it should delete the record here in the system. Record still exists, right? So what is happening? We have to keep a log. We have to keep a log here somewhere. Current correlation ID. I think authentication issue, I believe. In the deleted record, here you haven't selected authentication here. So this could be authentication issue. Again, we'll have to get the record back. Oh my God. I have deleted it from here as well. So there is no other option. We have to create another incident record. I'm just creating an incident here. Okay, record is created. So which is fine. Okay. Now let us try to delete this record here. Once we delete this record here, this record also should be deleted here. This time it has deleted because there was an issue with the authentication. See, while doing the integrations, you will be getting these kind of errors. 500 error we have seen, 401 error we have seen, 200 we have seen, 200 for update, 201 for creation. So you will see 403 error. 403 means bad request. 404 page not found. So these kind of questions will be raised. So while doing the integrations, what are all the status codes that you have got? So during that time, you can actually explain these things as well. Okay. So let us say from this system, you want to get the incident details to this system. So then what you will do, you'll go to the SOAP message. So here you will actually use get records. Okay. So here for getting the records, so why do we need all these things? So we'll keep authentication here. let us try to pull all the records from this particular system. In this particular system, how many incident records are there? Those many records I want to pull it in the ServiceNow system, in this system. So you can just click on test here. So here you can see, this is actually the request. What is the response that we have received here? Get records response. So it is able to reach the system, it is successfully able to reach the system. That is why we are getting 200 error here. So let us try to pass sysid. Exclude all the values, keep only one record sysid. So here we should not change actually. Here we have to change. Get records, right? So here what we can do is, let us take any incident record sysid here. So here in this soap message, so that particular incident details we have got here, right? Whatever the sysid that we have passed, that particular incident details we have got here or not. So that means from the external system, we are actually getting the values. We passed the sysid. Using that sysid, we are actually getting the values. So see here, if you take a look at the XML here, so active. So active means true. One means true, guys. So approval not requested state. So here caller ID. This is actually caller sysid. Category inquiry. Category inquiry. So description is test 567. So What is that? Which record CCD we copied? Around this one, right? This one or this one? First one. Yeah. So inquiry, description. So all these values we are able to get it here or not? All these values we are able to get it here or not? Where is that? Get, yeah, this is the one. So we have passed record SysID. Using that SysID, we are able to get the records or not? Did you guys understand? Guys.
Yes, sir.
So like you can actually get the details from the external system into ServiceNow system. You can create a record in the external system. You can update the record in the external system. You can delete the record in the external system. So we had used direct table, right? Table WSDL we have used, right? So we can also use import set WSDL. Import set WSDL. So what we can do here, we have already created a import set table, right? So if you go to the web services, so here you have create incident is actually the staging table that we have created. If you guys remember, while we have discussed import set API as part of inbound integrations in this system, I have used staging table. So here you can see WSDL. This WSDL is actually about staging table WSDL. Did you understand my point? Hmm? Did you guys understand what I mean here? What I can do? So in place of this WSDL, I will take this WSDL and create a SOAP message. Okay. So in place of this URL, right? Normally we have used this URL, right? Which URL? This URL we have used, right? So in place of this one, I will create a new SOAP message. Okay. Okay. I'll create a new SOAP message. So should not be the two same names. Okay. So now what I do, I'll generate the function. Generate sample SOAP message function. SOAP message is generated. So similar way you have create, update, get keys, delete multiple, delete records, get records. Same functions that you had created, right? In the past also. Same way you will trigger the business rules. So this time what will happen? It will create a record in the staging table. So everybody, you guys are able to catch me or not?
Yes, Lord.
So this time it will actually create a record in the staging table. So what is that staging table? This staging table. So once a record is created in the staging table, here if you scroll little down, there is a transform map. The transform map will run. Once the transform map will run, the record will be created in the target table. So in the transform map, we have coalesce functionality available, right? So using that coalesce functionality, if the correlation ID is there in the existing system, record will be updated. If the correlation ID is not present in the existing system, record will be created. So if you want to delete the record, you have to use transform scripts. Do you understand that? What I mean? Hello? Do I have to explain this import set API one more time. So I have actually explained import set API earlier as well, while we are actually discussing REST integrations. So same way you will use same table you will use. Okay. So here if you open this one, right, insert, you will see limited fields here. Are you able to see lot of fields or only limited fields? So you will pass these values through the business rule and it will create a record in the staging table. Once a record is created in the staging table, that will run the transform map. Through the transform map, it will create a record in the target table. So similar way, update also same. So the update transform map will identify using query list, right? So delete part. So through the transform map, you cannot delete it. So what you can do? So if the record is exists in the ServiceNow system, delete the record using transform script. That is actually about the import set API. So you have scripted SOAP services available. Scripted SOAP services available. Okay. So here you go to, so scripted SOAP services you will create here. Scripted SOAP services are for inbound SOAP web services, right? Inbound SOAP web services, right? Here what I will do, scripted SOAP services. So here you will create a new scripted SOAP service. Here you have request response. As you have seen in the scripted REST API, you have request and response. So you can provide let us not use spaces. See, Visual is created with the custom name that you have provided here. Okay. Here you have request, you have response. Similarly, what you have in the uh, scripted REST API, you have request and response. Okay. So here, if you scroll little down here, you have actually input parameters, output parameters. Suppose, let us create one input parameter here. So record underscore ID. Record underscore ID. Okay. So record ID is actually an input. So I want to get the outputs, short description, and caller. Short description. Let us use some camel case. So now here, right, you can use glide record. Glide record where gr incident is equal to new glide record. So everything is scripted, guys. As the name says, scripted SOAP services. Similarly, you have scripted web services, scripted REST API, right? In the scripted REST API, you have control over the request, you have control over the response. You can do everything using scripting, right? Similar way, you have control over the request, you have control over the response, and you can do everything using scripting. Okay, so I am just keeping incident here. So grinc dot add query sysid comma. So here this input parameter here you have used record ID, right? REC underscore ID, right? So request dot. So request dot record ID. Okay, if grinc dot next. Okay. So response object you will use here. Response dot is equal to. Okay. User. Okay. So grinc dot. Okay. Let us just save this one. So here, right? If you configure the same, visual in the SOAP message here, okay, will generate the SOAP messages. SOAP messages are generated. So we have only one execute SOAP function. So when I open this one here, right? Here you have to pass only one thing called record sysid. So I'm generating the auto generate variables. So here what am I doing is, let us say I'm just passing a record sysid. Let us take this particular record sysid 75. I've copied this one here. So from my system, what I'm doing here is, so I'm just passing the sysid from here. Okay. So when I do a test here, what it will do, it will actually get the, so it is giving 401. 401 user not authenticated. So user not authenticated in the sense we did not actually provide the credentials properly. Four not one error. Why do we get 401 error? Naresh?
Client side error, Uday.
Client side authentication error.
Yeah.
So now I am just giving a test here. So once I execute this now, here what are we doing? We are actually getting short description, as well as we are actually getting the user. So there is no user, I believe, for this user, for this record. 75, right? For this record, there is no caller ID, I believe. No caller ID. So let us take, you are actually using this particular record sysid. So here in the execute function, you just pass this particular record sysid. Okay, if you click on test here, so what is it doing? So this is actually get records one, not our function. Ours is different function. This is actually another. So this is the one, right? Scripted one. So here in the scripted one, what are we doing? We have only one SOAP function available. So in this SOAP function, what do we have to pass? We have to pass record sysid. If you pass record sysid here, what it will get? It will get the chart description, and caller ID of that particular record. So now if I give a test here, right? Now we will quickly check. So it has got chart description, there is no caller. So let me just do one thing. I'll actually give you the new record sysid, new incident record sysid here. So if I give a test here, see the short description and caller name as well, we are able to get it here. You can just click on XML. See, short description, user. So these are the output parameters that we have defined or not. This is the output parameter that we have defined. If you take a look at here, this is the input parameter that we defined. This is the record ID is actually the input parameter that we defined. So here in the scripted SOAP services, where is it? So here in the scripted SOAP services, here if you can take a look at here, input parameter we have passed record ID, and output parameters we have passed record description, and user. So here using that input, you have actually queried the table and you have passed short description, and caller ID. So everything we have done it using scripting, right? Similar way, what you can do, you can actually use a create function here. Okay, create function here. So in the create function, we need inputs and outputs, right? So what are all the inputs need? You need incident, caller, description, short description, everything you need. So as a output, what are all the parameters that you want to pass? You can pass those output parameters as well. Okay. So now what we will do? So we will have to convert this as, we don't need to pass this record ID for creating, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is actually create function. Okay. Create function. So here you have to define inputs and outputs. So what is the input that you want to pass? What is the output that you want to receive? You guys are able to understand, right? So inputs I am passing here as Okay. Okay. Inputs we have defined. Let us define outputs as well. So let us pass only two outputs, SysID and number. So you can pass as many outputs as you can. So let us just pass only two. Okay. So we defined inputs, we also defined outputs. So here what I am doing, I am writing glide record here. So grinc dot initialize glide record, you are clear, right? Grinc dot initialize grinc dot caller ID okay. Here what you will do, you will use this input parameter. So short description, contact type, caller state. So request dot caller. Request dot short description. So short descript. Is that what we have defined? DES. There is no C. Contact type state. Okay. So as a response dot sysID, no space. SysID is equal to grinc dot sys underscore ID. Response dot num is equal to grinc dot number. Okay, which is fine. So now what I will do, I will use the same WSDL. Okay, I'll generate the show functions here. I'll generate the show functions again. So now it will actually give me create as well. Along with execute, it will also give me create as well. So now it has given me create as well, create function as well. So in this function, You have to pass short description, contact type, caller and state, and it will create a record. So let us generate the auto generate variables. So we can have a quick test from here as well. So if the test is successful, what we can do? We can actually trigger that SOAP message from the business tool. Okay. So caller, contact type, email, description, hello. Hello test. State giving as 2. So now I am just giving a test here, whether it is able to reach my system. It will not actually reach because we haven't selected authentication. Basic authentication. Dev. Okay. So definitely it will be able to reach my system, external system. So here I have used REST. Okay. See here, it has given me the number and sysid. Number and sysid. Output. So inputs, whatever we have passed here. Here you can take a look at here in the XML. Hello test, hello, email. This is the one. So now what I will do, I will actually take the script out and trigger it through the business rule. Okay. We have business rules here. Okay, we'll open this one, create, right? So here you have to pass current.state, current.description, current.description, current.short description. We don't need this. Okay. So now I am actually triggering scripted source services API. Okay, so here you have to pass sysid. Okay. So it is similar to scripted REST API or not? So now I am going to create an incident record here. As soon as the incident record is created in my system, it will create a record in the external system. That external system number will be populated here. Okay, I'm just creating a record here. Once a record is created, it will trigger the business rule and trigger the SOAP message. That SOAP message will actually create a record in the external system. So this is the record that is created in the external system. Let us open this record in the external system and see the details that we have provided. See, same record, right? Okay. So using table WSDL, using import set WSDL, using scripted REST API, scripted SOAP services, how did we create the record and all? You are able to understand, right? So now you tell me, how do we update the record? Same, using inputs and outputs. We have to make inputs as mandatory parameter. Okay. So that is how you will actually do the integrations with SOAP web services. Okay. For SOAP web services, if you want to send the request from ServiceNow, you will use SOAP message. If you have to receive the request, either you will use table WSDL or import set WSDL or scripted SOAP services WSDL. Okay. So when it comes to the REST, so for sending the request from ServiceNow, you will use REST message. For receiving the request, either you will use table API or import set API or scripted REST API. Did you guys understand it or not? The concepts are clear or not regarding REST and SOAP? How the REST communications and SOAP communications are happening? Naresh, Saurav.